so much for staying connected with us. Moving forward, we will now begin with our keynote address. For the first keynote, we'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Vinay Godse. He's the Vice President of DSCI, and Ms. Priya Madhavan, she's the consultant at NASSCOM Future Skills, who will be addressing on industry intervention, cybersecurity, skill building. Welcome, Vinayak and Priya.
Yeah, thank you, Sonam. So, good afternoon, everybody. So what we'll be basically seeing is the effort that we are putting together. DSA and NASSCOM Priya is with me as well, so we may have some time to take some of the questions and some of the comments from you as well. So what needs to be done? So we had been hearing since morning we need to have very concerted action for skill building in the country, and there are definitely a lot of things which are happening. We need to connect those dots, probably mobilize the effort, and also because the current age is the age of intelligence and age of AI ML, so use those kind of techniques to understand more granularly where exactly the skill demand is coming and what kind of supply that we have been talking about. So in this presentation, which I would be taking you through with the help of Priya, is we all know that security is definitely next big thing. This has been talked as a NASSCOM, one of the review for the next 10 years. It talks about this is one of the foundational technology. So cybersecurity, AI, ML, and the cloud computing. These are the three foundational elements which will be determine the growth for the next 10 years, basically. So from now to 2025, there will be almost $1 trillion that we spend on security. Last year, we already had seen almost $12 billion invested in cybersecurity ventures, basically, and we had heard in the morning about 4.1 million demand for cybersecurity professionals globally, and then also out of that 2.6 million demand, which is concentrated in the Asia-Pacific region. And then McKinsey in one of the report has talked about the cybersecurity will be one of the key growth vector for IT industry. And recently, Data Security Council of India has published a report which talked about $13.6 billion Indian cybersecurity services industry. So by 2025, the services industry, security services industry, will become $13.6 billion. So with this context in mind, we know that India is definitely a hub for the cybersecurity products and services. So we have footprint of global technology companies, and we have these companies serving the global client across the globe in cybersecurity space. There are a lot of global captive centers, larger banks, larger retail players have been coming and setting their operations here in India. There are a lot of global technology companies have been now seeing India as a destination for product development and R&D as well. All these names like FireEye, Economics, RSA, Atio, Sophos, Fortinet, Juniper, they all have development centers here in India. Our own academia is also now evolving themselves to cybersecurity R&D and ecosystem. They have been investing a lot. We have our own cybersecurity startup ecosystem. We have almost 200 plus. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we will be publishing report of the security product industry in the country. Almost 250 plus now company we are seeing in cybersecurity space, which has a product, cybersecurity product. And there are a lot of global SOC, managed security services operations we are setting up in India. So this is a definitely hub, and then probably there is a lot of scope to really scale this effort that we have been looking at. And that's why for the cybersecurity skill building, there are a lot of effort which is happening at a government level, at industry level. But we are at a DSCI and NASSCOM Future Skill. We have been consolidating the effort required to develop this skill in the country in cybersecurity space. Primarily for the three reasons. One is the support the growth of the Indian cybersecurity industry. As we have seen, they have been serving global market. They have been serving the domestic market, and as I also talked about, the cybersecurity is the field which has been also attracting a lot of investment in a cybersecurity products and services. There are a lot of global companies which had been moving their security operations to India, which had been moving their development operations to India, and also some companies have been looking India as a destination for their R&D work as well in cybersecurity space. Then another important part is our own domestic ecosystem, be it private sector, public sector, and government ecosystem, that also security of that also needs to be strengthened. So these are three key objectives. So the growth, destination, and strength is something that we have been looking at as one of the important key drivers for us to have this a specific considered action for cybersecurity skill building in the country. So when we look at this kind of effort that we can put together, we need to look at who are those kind of organization which has been creating demand for cybersecurity. So, for example, global technology company I just talked about, like larger companies like Google, Microsoft, they have been IBM kind of company which have been significantly increasing the employee strength in cybersecurity space in the country. The global captive centers I just talked about, which had been like a Deutsche Bank, like a Target, like a Unilever. Many of them have been moving the cybersecurity operations here. Our own Indian and in the IT industry, our cybersecurity startups are evolving quite significantly. We have a lot of global security product companies like RSA, McAfee, Trend Micro, FireEye. Those kind of companies have been setting up their development operation here in India. We have also user organization now increasingly investing for cybersecurity, and the government and critical sector organization had been also now taking cybersecurity quite seriously because there are significant ramifications the cybersecurity brings to the national security element. So demand side, we see these players. Demand side, we see these kind of target segments basically which are bringing the demands to cybersecurity skills, and they have been consuming the cybersecurity skills which has been already built. On supply side, we are looking at academic institutions. Basically, we just heard in some of the discussion about how academic institutions have been investing to develop cybersecurity skills. We had seeing the security OEMs and providers. For example, some of the security employers like Palo Alto, Cisco, they had been doing cybersecurity certification program largely based on their own product, but they also create cybersecurity skills. There are training centers and providers basically which create cybersecurity skills. Every company nowadays looking at a reskilling and upscaling kind of agenda, and that's what they have been setting the academy inside the company. So they are also taking now cybersecurity on their agenda. We are also looking at a lot of industrial initiative like an NASSCOM, DSA. There are some of the industrial initiative level initiative where also focusing on cybersecurity skill building. The professional bodies like IC Square, ISACA, SANS, they have been also significantly working in the country to develop those kind of skill. And some of the government programs like Information Security Education and Awareness Program, IIT Campus, C3I Hub or Hub Center. These are the programs basically which has been creating and developing those kind of skills basically. And then we know that no matter how much we plan, no matter how much we have been doing, there's definitely gap in terms of the demand of the skills and the supply that we have been creating in this country. And this is supplier ecosystem comes with these kind of academia, industry bodies, to the professional bodies, to the government programs as well. And this gap needs to be bridged. And we know in Asia Pacific region, this is a significant gap at this point of time. So for this, we had been looking at a very different way. But one of the important things that what we try to look at, when we always talk about gap and supply, let's try to understand this demand and supply better. Let's try to understand how exactly this demand is created. Let's try to objectively comprehend that demand. Let's try to look at very granular level, ground up information on the supplier on the demand side or supply side as well. So that information should be available for us to do slice and dice and have multidimensional insight on that information. And more importantly, it could also help us to provide that very specific input for any corrective actions or policy actions basically that may require to be done. And this is an effort that we put together. So this is an effort that we had put together. We try to put together because many of those kind of information is digitally available. So we try to look at all the digital realities available in terms of the education ecosystem and demand ecosystem in cybersecurity space. So we try to look at the job portals, we try to look at the career pages, we try to look at the news, We try to look at the job aggregator site. We try to look at the social media posts. We try to look at reports available in the market. And then we had a platform. This platform is basically developed by Miti-based, which is Pune-based, one of the startup company in artificial intelligence and machine learning base. So with this platform, basically, we had try to process this data, try to identify the metadata out of it, try to create a data frames which can serve various different requirement of use cases of the skill in demand and supply side, try to build the context and also use the natural language processing and create a kind of a taxonomy out of it. And then on top of that, a machine learning, graph machine learning techniques has been used to try to create a kind of a good granular level visibility about the demand and supply. And last 3 months, basically, that we try to run this particular engine and try to get a data. And then through that data, basically what is coming to us, and we are also working on a final report, which will be shortly made available for all of you to look at. What is coming out of that report is if you just look at the data in last 3 months, basically, across diverse industry verticals and roles, basically, then there are almost 53,000 openings that are available at this point of time in cybersecurity space, actually. And these 53,000 openings are across different industry vertical and across different roles. And we'll be shortly seeing what are those roles and what are those industries, basically. So these particular skills are largely the lateral skills, basically, which are like experienced people and the openings for experienced people. This number 53,000 doesn't really include the freshers hiring. Means what I'm trying to say is this number may be significantly more if you factor the freshers hiring. The supplier ecosystem may be, and then we are also look at the supply ecosystem, like academia to professional bodies to reskilling, upskilling engagements, basically. So they may be feeling or they may be helping to develop this kind of a skill. And largely the computer science engineers and have been preferred for these jobs, basically. This is a larger insight that we have been getting out of the roles that we try to look at out of this data that come to us, basically. So total, to just remember, 53,000 opening in a search of last 3 months of data across different industry vertical. And this, we can say in the current context for 3 months, probably the 53,000 people are required in cybersecurity space. And if you can extrapolate this figure for the next year or next 5 years as well, basically. So what it tells us as well is to see what exactly is the demand, who is basically consuming these cybersecurity skills. And this graph shows us better. For example, IT industry is a key consumer of cybersecurity skills, almost 66% of that. Then we have GCCs, Global Captive Centers, as I talked about. They have been significantly, and this also involves the global technology companies as well. The user organization, like a banking industry or domestic user companies, basically, which are security buyers, and the government and public sector units as well. So these are typical distribution as of now that we found. There are almost 140. There is a dictionary of almost 140 cybersecurity roles that we have created as a part of this exercise, and out of that, we try to then club them together to 22 managed categories, basically map categories, basically. And with that, then we came to know still security analysis is the largest role that has been advertised, but there are many other roles which are coming in between, like application security, threat management, security management, and access management. And these roles are increasingly getting advertised, and probably most of the advertisers of the jobs have been seeing this kind of a role that I had just mentioned in this particular graph. And then this demand is largely coming from these cities, basically. So Delhi NCR, if you put together Gurgaon, Delhi, and Noida, are leading. Almost 14,000 plus jobs are required in cybersecurity, are available in cybersecurity, which is followed by Bangalore, followed by Mumbai, and also followed by Chennai. So these are demand creating cities, basically. And then there is a very interesting, if you just look at the roles, basically. So the roles can be very neutral, and they can be OEM specific role as well. So OEM specific role means the organization must have deployed some solution like a Cisco or like a IBM solutions, and they must have they must be looking at the people who are trained in such kind of solutions offered by the OEMs basically. So out of this 50,000 role, 47,700 roles are neutral in sense they don't attribute to any OEM specific role, but 5,300 roles are specific to particular OEM solution basically. And in demand, we also found one of the interesting kind of data. So apart from the cybersecurity skill, the cybersecurity product company, which had been developing solutions basically, so they additionally advertise for 11,000 openings in cybersecurity space, and these are more developmental jobs, and those jobs are probably would be serving the product development kind of a work either in a startup company or in a global company as well. So this is a typical demand side story which I try to present here with a small effort that we put together with this platform. So let me now come to you about the against this. I'm not talking about supply as such. I'm talking about against this education wise what is happening. We know typically cybersecurity engineering education or cybersecurity requirements are filled by the computer science professionals, but increasingly we see the trend of and this is very encouraging trend basically. This data tells us basically that specialized cybersecurity education is now emerging as one of the important area for most of the academic institutions to really, they have been coming up with a very specific diploma, specific undergraduate program, a specific PG program for cybersecurity. And so this is a trend which has been, we scan almost 4,000 plus educational institutions and universities. Out of them, actually, almost 184 institutions have certain level of cybersecurity courses, maybe a BTech course or MTech course or any certification course. And these are, I'm talking about, these are very specific, specialized cybersecurity education which is coming in the country. And we have found last 3-4 years of time, basically, many such academic institutions has came and they started BTech in cybersecurity or MTech in cybersecurity as a specialized courses, basically, which is a very encouraging sign for the overall cybersecurity ecosystem. Now, engineering is getting more and more specialized for cybersecurity, which is very encouraging sign. And this, again, this data comes from the platform that I just talked about. So this data also, we can drill down this data. So what the data tells us basically, it tells us that out of these courses available, out of these programs available, 62% of them are a bachelor's in degree basically. So the bachelor level courses basically. Master's level is also significant now, 26% of those courses, almost out of the 184, almost 60 to 70, 55 to 60% of them are a master's program, which is a quite encouraging figure. Basically, there are so many master's programs which has been emerging, and there are a lot of effort which is being made by academic world to create those skills required for the industry and required for this deep technology work of the cybersecurity. One of the important thing which I want to talk about is the spread. Actually, the central universities, they are less in number, but they play important role. The state universities, which are government state universities, and private universities has been aggressively now coming up with the solutions for BTech and cybersecurity program. Especially, most of them are leading in that. And if you just look at how geographically the skill, this kind of a cybersecurity specialized education is evolving, Chennai is leading. So they generate, they have more such kind of programs to offer, and which is followed by Maharashtra and Karnataka, and some north states as well had been following the states, especially Uttarakhand, UP, and some NCR region as well. And in city-wise, if you just look at the destination for cybersecurity education, basically somebody asked this question in the morning, how can I join the cybersecurity course? So these are cities basically, Chennai, Bangalore, Dehradun, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Pune, Gurgaon. So in these cities, you'll have educational institutions basically who had been offering courses in cybersecurity actually. And then these courses, as I talked about, when it comes to central universities, they are the one who are leading in a PG courses. The private universities and institutions had been until now largely offering the BTech courses. But state universities also now significantly coming to address the challenge of cybersecurity by offering both BTech and MTech courses. So this is a little bit. Most of the time, skills data is at a very aggregate high level. But what we are trying with this effort is to becoming more specific, more granular, and so that we have very good ground up level end up intelligence available for the skills in the country, and then our intervention at an industry level and government level can be more aligned, more specific to the to the ground. Basically, we can see that. So we have some data available with us. I can show some of this data. For example, this is a demand side data, and if I just look at the IT industry, then I can show you what kind of role, which city is leading, which state is leading. Similar way, I can show data, and this data we will be making available for people to use this data in a form. So this is like a cybersecurity education data. If I just look at the bachelor's degree, then you will find that state and private sector universities have been doing it. The location I just talked about. If I just look at the master's data, then the central universities comes into picture, and different cities have been offering the master's degree. So this data now is available for any of you to really slice and dice, and we will be shortly making this data available. And this is still a prototype level work, and this prototype basically we are been creating as a part of this effort put together from the industry wise. So this prototype we would be shortly making it available for people to use, and we would be also making it available for somebody to examine it and give us a feedback so that we can have more granular specific level of information. So with this, I covered one significant part of my interaction. I would now like to take you to what we have been trying to do overall in terms of the cybersecurity skill building effort in the effort basically. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to basically create a concerted effort basically for the skill building. We have this effort what we are trying to bring together with an ASCOM assessment, reskilling, hackathon, internship program, the master's training, the skill assessment. So a lot of those kind of programs that we have been unveiling as a part of the effort that we are putting together for the skill building. And from here, I will also like to take you through some of the work that we have been doing as a part of the industry. Until now, we talked about the research, skill building, but I will also try to talk about the what is need to be done for the cybersecurity R&D. So we have been putting together entire effort for cybersecurity R&D. We have been putting together overall effort for this National Center of Excellence, which we had been talking about, which has been created to increase our effort in cybersecurity R&D, technology development, incubation, and market development activity. Basically, we had been looking at how can we have this academic network. So we have been building this academic network for cybersecurity in the country. We have our network, academic network spans across IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Mumbai, then IIT Roorkee, and we have been looking at engaging. And this particular conference will tell you how significant this academic network is, and we have presence of so many academic institutions across India be part of us. And now we have been looking at other academic geographies like US and Europe and even Australia and Singapore. We heard them in the morning to associate with us in this particular program of cybersecurity education and R&D part. There are some effort of the national COE which I want to say talk about with respect to R&D, Lightweight Crypto Challenge, crypto innovation, 5G security effort that we have been putting, research proposals that we have been basically submitting, then tech solution report that we have been creating. We have been now publishing the use cases of AIML for cybersecurity shortly, and we have been also creating a possibility of developing or putting together data set for the cybersecurity, and we also have the lab ecosystem created for the cybersecurity research in the country. Another effort that we have been putting together is to create a good visibility about the research which is happening in academic institutions basically, and for that we have been creating this network. So we are trying to look at in different areas of cybersecurity research work, how exactly the research is happening, who is doing that research basically. So we are creating a very good consumable level kind of a map for all of us to really look at who is doing what. For example, if just look at cryptography basically. So these are the professors in a different universities basically have been working in a cybersecurity space. We have very detailed information about what kind of work, which area, what kind of a research report, research effort, research project they have been working on. Similarly, we had been, this is an example of hardware security research work which is happening in the country, who is doing that basically. So there are a set of professors and set of researchers basically across the country who had been doing research in hardware security part. We also see work in IoT security. We also had been seeing work in a quantum cryptography basically. And this is another important visualization that we have been creating about the research which is happening in cybersecurity space basically. And this research had been quite significantly in last 6-7 years of time. We see a lot of academia has been taking a lot of interest in cybersecurity, solving cybersecurity problems basically, and creating this kind of visibility and creating a possibility of engaging the academia and bringing industry and academia together would be one of the important things that we'll be doing from the DSA, National COE and plus MASCOM side basically. So put all of this together basically, I would like to appeal to the both people from the academia community, people from the researcher community, people from the industry startup, and people from the even student fraternity basically. Cyber security is definitely one of the important area which creates a lot of those commercial value and significant level of commercial value. It is a very foundational as well as a deep technology area. On one hand, and other hand, it also is very important, relevant to the national security specific goals. So from all of these things, it is becoming very important area for deliberation, important area for the research, important area for the skill building as well, important area for starting your own enterprise as well, important area for the startup ecosystem as well. And then we need to connect all of this good dot. We need to go mostly granular. We need to look at what is happening. We need to create good visibility about work which is happening. And more importantly, we need to bring the different people together to collaborate on some of the goals that needs to be achieved from both commercial value creation perspective to the overall national security goal as well. So with this, I will like to conclude my presentation. Over to Sonam and Srishti for host, and Priya, if you have any comment basically to make, feel free to add your comments. Okay, over to you, Sonam.